Oh, did you think you were going to get a glimpse of who seduced you with poetry in our video of the week? Well, you're stuck with our faces this week, but make sure that you hit that bell so that you don't miss a thing here on SafeWord.
What's up, everybody? This is SafeWord, the platform for teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink, BDSM, and relationships. I am your host, Kane Marcos.
I'm your other host, Aurora Storm.
And I am your co-host, Callista Fury.
And I'm the other co-host, Night Wagner.
So what are we talking about tonight? Well, it's the kink of the month. So we're talking about ASMR versus Auralism.
But first, as
ASMR?
always, make sure you like and subscribe for more content on kink, BDSM, and relationships.
So this is SafeWord. And here on SafeWord, we have a safe word of the day that we use to stop all conversations, right? Just like in the bedroom. So today, our safe word, everyone, is audio. So make sure that you're saying that word if you want to stop the conversation, you just want to interrupt, or you want people to shut the hell up. But first and foremost, we need to say hello to our A1 since day one, because he rocks with us on everything. So crew, can we say hello to our fan favorite? Ready?
Hey, Roy.
What's up, Roy?
So if you want your shout out like Mr. Roy gets his every week, then all you got to do is what Miss Calista said. Okay? Like, subscribe, comment, watch. All right. So first things first, Mr. Kane, do we have Kink news?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Aurora. All right. So I brought a couple of stories. Morbid Marcos is back for this iteration of SafeWord. So thank you. Yes, I know you all missed me. Hold your applause. All right. So the first story that I found, I just got to, throw this one out there just because, we're all YouTube creators and sometimes YouTube creators can take it a little bit too far. And so that was such the case with this YouTuber in particular. I'm not going to mention his name just because I'm not going to send any more traffic to, anywhere else. But I'm pretty sure you guys have already heard about it. And if not, you guys can look it up. It's quite popular. But he does a lot of pranks. His channel is mostly playing pranks on people. And he played a prank on, the wrong motherfucker. And that dude shot him in the abdomen.
Shot
Is he okay?
Like just
Yeah, he
shot
made it. He's alive. They rushed him to the hospital. No word.
But
I didn't really dig too much into the medical report. I don't know exactly where the bullet entered or what organs were affected. If you get shot in the abdomen, it's pretty... might have been a liver shot, might have popped a kidney. Who knows?
It's not fatal though, right?
but
No, he's all right.
he's alive. He's
What prank was
there.
it? What did he do to get shot?
Well, so he just approaches people in shopping malls and then is annoying. And so it's kind of causing a huge controversy online. And everybody's saying, whether or not it was warranted or not. But they did arrest the shooter and he is set for trial. But this is what I kind of... This is what I kind of laugh at when it comes to stuff like this, because there's aggravated assault, then there's like assault with deadly intention. And so they kind of booked him on what I feel is like a minor charge. It was like not aggravated assault, but it was using excessive force, like aggravated use of excessive force or something like that. So it's kind of like, we'll leave the back door open in case, in case somebody can pull the whole, defending yourself, because that definitely does fall into this category. The guy was harassing him in a mall, and the YouTube video or like the snippets that they're showing, you can hear the guy saying, "Leave me alone." And it kind of goes in line with a lot of his YouTube prank stuff where people are like, "Hey, leave me alone." And then eventually, they just have enough or whatever, walk off, and that's his show or that's his stitch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy, instead of walking off or anything else, which is what I guess they're kind of saying he should have done, he decided to, make sure that the guy left him the hell alone, drew a firearm and, popped him in the abdomen. So,
Wow.
He probably can get sued for it. Gotta love the legal system. You can piss somebody off to the point where they retaliate and then bite back at them. So,
Well, what do you expect in the Wild Wild West?
it was in Virginia. So that's another thing. It's like
The whole states is the Wild Wild. Everyone's packing 6 shooters. Come on.
So, all right, moving on. this one's a little bit more. I gotta laugh at this, and I'll probably get in trouble for laughing at this, but it's just
Well, we'll laugh with you.
So, do you guys remember the Pokemon cards?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The Charizard sex move. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
We talked about that on the show. Y'all gonna have to go watch that one.
Yeah.
All right. So that is still a very active community. I didn't know because I don't really follow it, but I'm pretty sure people who do were like, oh yeah, it's one of the biggest things. They still have active tournaments, and they're like big money tournaments, and people come from all over the world to participate in these tournaments. And this one player in particular attended a tournament, and in the 6th round got disqualified for apparently making a nervous laugh or a condescending laugh, as a judge took it, when asked about his pronouns.
Huh?
Wait, so
what?
He got disqualified for laughing.
So the judge is transgender and asked him what his preferred pronouns were. And according to the statement that this player issued, he said, I said he, him nervously and then laughed because it was a nervous situation, which apparently pissed off the judge. So he disqualified him.
Wow.
See?
So you can't even have feelings anymore towards it? I mean, like, it's not like he sat there and was like, well, that's stupid.
Just because you're offended doesn't make you right.
Right.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. So let me pull this up. His name is Macomb Tran. He was a young Pokemon player and from Utah, disqualified from a regional tournament in Charlotte for... judge asked for his preferred pronouns before the match. He responded with his pronouns he, him, but let out a nervous laugh due to his nerves and being embarrassed. And so the judge saw fit to disqualify him.
He's a teenager. Laughter. What do you... It's like, first of all, okay, nothing saying about the judge, but the judge comes up and it's like, all right, what are your pronouns? He's like, you don't talk. Okay, he, him. Duh. And the judge is like, you're out. Get out. Take your cards and leave. Like, what is this? Come on.
And it's funny because it's like he responded accurately. He just laughed. Like I would have, when I first read the story, I read the headline. I thought he said, something bigoted like normal or standard. Like I don't fall in suit, or that doesn't apply to me, or like talk to me regularly. Any one of those statements, I'm pretty sure could be blown out of proportion. I mean, they're still it's still ridiculous, but I could see how, making a statement like that could be taken the wrong way and upset a community. But it was kind of a nervous laugh, but he did respond with he, him. I mean, so he did respond.
He responded.
Maybe he misheard and he like heard.
Teens will laugh about anything. They are still so juvenile. Yeah. And even still, let's say he laughed on purpose. Like I said, teens are stupid. They're going to laugh about anything. But a lot of people kind of laugh when they're nervous. And if that was like a nervous tick.
Yeah.
So he got penalized for having a nervous tick. How dare that judge for doing that to him?
That's not a safe space. That is not a safe space.
Right. It's not a safe space. And they're playing Pokemon. I mean, that's what? And second of all, like Miss Calista said, teens have these nervous things. You say penis, you say butt. I got a really good story to follow this one out. My brother used to wrestle, and I remember he had made it all the way to the top, right? And his last match was with a girl. And so he's going out there and he's like, I have to wrestle her. I've got to wrestle her. And so then the whole time he's down there going, like trying to go for a ring. And he lost the match, because he's having to wrestle and touch a girl. But that would be like him getting kicked out of, all the hard work he'd done because he was uncomfortable.
Audio. My first question is, where do I sign up for these intergender wrestling competitions?
It's what they do now. I mean, shoot, they've been doing it since 2000.
What?
Yeah. What? Yep. Girls wrestle on the same floor, on the same mat, as long as you make weight. Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's funny because what's his the Man on the Moon? No, the Jim Carrey, Andy. that comedian that Jim Carrey did. Anyway, he had this stick where he went to the WWE and he had a big fight with Jerry Lawler, and he called himself the intergender wrestling champion, and he made a big thing about wrestling women. And this is the character that this was like back in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
And it was a big joke back then. This is the 80s. So he was like he was serious about it.
It's a real thing now. I mean, it really is. It's been for a couple years now.
A comedy bit. It was a comedy skit.
I'm just saying, I wish they would have had that when I was in school, because I would have made all the boys uncomfortable and just been like, I win.
All right, so now getting into a little bit more on the darker side of things.
Oh,
all
here comes Morgan Marcos.
Here we go. Oh no, not yet. This is just I'm testing the water. I'm letting you guys in.
Oh, you're easing us into it this time. How kind.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're putting lube on it. Thank you. Just not, just dry and raw dogging it. Okay, thank you.
All right, so for all of you, top creators on those friends only sites, here's a public service announcement. Bestiality is still not observed and legal in a lot of states. So when you're a 19-year-old Mississippi woman, you're going to get arrested, especially if you're filming sexual acts with a German Shepherd to put on Snapchat.
Snapchat,
like you don't even have like the backing. Okay. I'm gonna be quiet on this one.
That's
like,
the
19.
Yes,
19-year-old.
And her response was that she was forced to do it because she has paid subscribers who were asking her to, do certain things and tipping. And so she gave in to the peer pressure and the money.
The money, yeah.
So, and filmed some lewd acts with the German Shepherd, and apparently she got reported, and the videos leaked online. I think they've since been taken down because I would have brought them, or at least shared them.
No, thank you.
Banned. We would have been completely and totally banned. No, you would not have.
Let me pull this story up for you guys real quick.
Why is this like a gaining popularity now? Remember, you had that news article about that girl who I think she was 22 that came out as a dog trans dog lover.
What?
Wait, what?
This is another Kane article where she came out as her sexual preference was animal. And she posted all these pictures and videos of her doing the dirty with canines. And she had a Discord, she had an OnlyFans. This was a few months back.
I gotta stop drinking.
I don't remember this story. Dang.
She was like 22. She was young. It was a big
Do I
thing.
even want to know what news channels and stuff you follow and you're subscribed to? Because I don't think I do.
So,
hey, there is no kink shaming here. If you want to watch it and you're of age, that's on you.
So how are you gonna watch it if they keep getting arrested?
Right?
Told police she had intercourse with a German Shepherd and footage that appeared on Snapchat because she was threatened to do it. She admitted that she was the one in the video, but stated she was forced to do it, according to the affidavit. And she made the claims to the Jones County Sheriff's officers as they arrested her on Wednesday. Telling cops that people pay me to perform in videos, but that sex with the male service dog was against her will.
Okay, look, you're doing this on your own. It's not like somebody was holding a gun to your head, and there's got to be a little bit of you wanting to do that.
There's enough of this happening.
Well,
no, don't you victim shame.
Boundary, okay?
He was probably, wearing some short skirt and took the dog for a walk, and the dog was like, "You looking mighty nice right now." She's like, "No, don't." He's like, "You got a treat for me?" No, stop.
There's other ways to live out that fantasy. That's what the whole furry community is about, so that you don't have to, do things with another species.
That's one of the reasons the furry community exists. I'm just saying that's
a way to reach that fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting an innocent animal that doesn't have that can't give you consent.
Well, you know what? Let me audio that real quick because that's happening regardless. I mean, it's not necessarily. I mean, it's not anything new. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you wanted to look for the community, there's a whole community around it. The problem is that she put it on Snapchat. She put it out there.
I mean, it is
on Snapchat, and then she's sitting there saying she was threatened to do it, but yet there was money involved. So how is that a threat? I mean, if you didn't want to do it, it's a thing
that's how the mafia works, right? Isn't it?
No. There's a thing called boundaries.
Well, I also think that, I mean, it's got to do with, the fucking degradation of the English language, where I think she mixed up the word threatened for coerced. I mean, like, because if you're getting paid and if people are making requests, that is coercion. I mean, you are definitely being pressured, but forced and threatened are, I think, were the wrong terms to use. And I think she felt that maybe making those kind of statements would have gotten, the cop like, oh, I'm sorry, let me take the handcuffs off. I didn't realize you were threatened online to do it. Sorry about that. I guess all's fair.
It's still illegal, so no.
Well, she could go down to Mexico and do a donkey show down there. I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Don't you be threatening anybody.
Okay, this is where it
don't
starts.
You be threatening anybody.
Eventually
you're down in Mexico doing donkey shows.
Your Senora Esparza.
For 5 cents a peep. 5 pesos a peep.
There you go.
Well, and my big question is, why is it always German shepherds? Are they packing or what? What's the deal?
They're probably more willing. They're very loyal dogs.
Well, as a person who has 2 shepherds of my own, I don't know. They're a beautiful animal. That's the only thing I can say. Am I any means attracted to them? That's disgusting.
They don't be like, oh, you look nice today.
No.
You don't get any of that?
No.
Whatever. No. She doesn't even masturbate, so it's not like the dogs are ever like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what, Kate? We gonna fight.
We're gonna have a meeting after this.
He's like, oh, Calista will remember that. That's like that old Walking Dead thing. Yeah.
All right, so now moving into the more morbid bit. All right, so I mean,
morbid enough?
That wasn't morbid. That wasn't morbid enough.
Okay. All right, hold on. Wait. Draft in now. Go ahead.
All right, it's nothing bad. It's not like I'm showing you guys a video or anything. I'm just reading a headline. I mean, it's not even from the U.S. God, everybody chill. So this Brazilian priest, right, tied 1,000 balloons to himself in a charity fundraising, for charity. Like he was trying to do a fundraiser. I don't know exactly how it panned out. It was like, hey, if you give the church $10,000, I'll strap 1,000 balloons to myself. And everybody paid it. And so he went floating off into the distance. And months later, they recovered his body from the ocean. So,
he didn't have an
when up
exit
goes
plan?
horribly wrong.
He didn't have an exit plan. There was nobody like this. He's a priest. He didn't have a team of people around him going, okay, how do we get him down?
What down? He was on his way to heaven. What are you talking about? He was going to Willy Wonka his way to heaven.
Well, and so here's I don't know what the best case scenario for this was, because I was like, why did he do it so close to the ocean? Well, I guess it was it was better in his mind to land in the water than it is on pavement. So, I mean, I guess he did it off of a pier. But Father Adelaire Antonio de Carli floated over the ocean by tying himself to 1,000 helium-fueled balloons with the hopes of raising money for a chapel for truckers in his highway parish. He set off from the Brazilian port city of, I'm going to butcher this, Paranagua, on the 20th of April in 2008. Oh, this was an old story. Wearing a helmet, aluminum thermal flight suit, and waterproof coveralls while attached to a parachute and 1,000 balloons.
He was prepared.
Wow.
What went wrong?
Well, that's a lot of weight when you hit the water.
He had a parachute. What could go wrong?
He was also an experienced skydiver who had underwent survival and wilderness training, so he was no rookie by any means. It was his second time doing the stunt, and in January that year, he used 600 balloons to go on a 4-hour, 17,390-foot high journey. So, I mean, it's not necessarily something that he was new to or not experienced in. I think the ocean and, if you're wearing some waterproof coveralls, they're really great at keeping water out. But, on the auxiliary of that is it's also really good at keeping water in. So somebody who's, a lot of people don't get this, but, I know Knight knows this because, we both have a military background. you guys remember going swimming as a kid, and you guys had bathing suits. They were very, free, and you didn't have to worry about it. When we were in the service, it was the first time that I actually had to jump in, like under full gear, and you realize how like you think, how much do I need this main pack because it's dragging me down? Like, fuck food and and a bedroll.
I never got closer to death than that training. I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
And they don't throw you in a shallow, like where you have to tread water in about 6 foot so like you could hit the bottom and come back up. No, they throw your ass in the 20-foot deep section and they're just like, hey, best survival training ever because you will die.
I was gonna die.
No, I would
That's
die.
the closest I got to death.
No, I'd die. No, me and water don't get along like that. I can swim and stuff, but I can't see the bottom. I'd die just because I couldn't see the bottom.
So that's it that I had for Kink news. See, not too morbid, just an unfortunate.
No, he's in a better place.
But he still died.
Yeah, at least Calista, on the upside, at least someone didn't lose their member this time.
No.
Well, you don't know that. Shark might have run up and.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
you don't know. The sharks could have gotten to him.
So that's what we have. Kink news.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you. Round of applause to Kane Morbid Marcos. Thank you. So what we're talking about tonight is Auralism versus ASMR, right? That's our kink of the month. And a lot of people don't know what Auralism is, okay? Auralism, let me just ask my crew real quick. Do you guys have an idea of what it is?
I looked it up.
You looked it up.
Did you say Auralism?
Yes, Auralism. I like it. Let's do it. That's because, the sound of my voice could really turn someone on.
Even when you get high, squeaky pitch excited.
Get loud and it's just too loud. I mean, that might turn somebody on. So that's literally what Auralism is being sexually aroused by sound. Okay, which is quite different from ASMR. I mean, you may have that little piece where you're turned on by it, but for the most part, ASMR is a very therapeutic, very like relaxing type of a thing. And it's not always visual or audio. So ASMR has a little bit more like visual stuff too. But realism is definitely a way to be sexually aroused by sound and is a sexual kink, a fetish.
So it's not music based, whereas like in ASMR, it can be kind of music based. It's kind of it's almost ASMR is kind of like a hypnotherapy kind of classification, whereas Auralism is more or less like your fetish, like your directly sexual connection to sound. So just as a broad question, I mean, for me, I'll bear the brunt of it the first time. For me, I think a very erotic and sexual, and it turns me on is, and if hold on night, because I know you've got something to say, high heels on a hardwood floor. So
ooh,
hearing
okay.
like hard heel, damn, that's a tongue twister. Hearing high heels
on a hardwood floor,
like a concrete floor.
Heels on a hard floor.
Yeah, like the ticking sound. So, and that played hell in the military, especially when we had to do marches, and there was females next to me in their pumps. That'll do it. So, I know for me, I can honestly say that I do have a touch of Auralism with high heels on a hardwood floor.
Okay.
So do you guys, are there any sounds in particular that you guys can be like, oh yeah, you know what, I never really realized it, but yeah, I do get turned on by this sound. I'm going to go to Callista because I'm picking.
Ooh, I knew it. Let's do it.
I don't know that I've paid any attention to it other than the sound of a man in my kitchen cooking dinner. I mean, is that a thing or is that just like my acts of service type of deal?
That's like visual because, I mean, could you be in another room, hear that sound?
Yeah, I can hear those pots and pans and...
You don't know who's in the kitchen. You come around the corner and it's a chick or some other...
It doesn't matter. I'm getting turned on.
Well,
and sit down to cooking.
maybe he's just looking for a snack and he's just digging through things and you think he's cooking, but he's
there's a difference between someone rumbling through the pantry and then someone, frying up some vegetables or something or getting ready to, it's just a different sound.
So question. So like if you go to a restaurant where you can see the kitchen workers, and you can hear, like if you go to a hibachi grill, right? And they're
oh, that's too loud.
No? Okay. Well,
it's gotta be
that sizzling sound gets you off in the middle of a restaurant.
No, it's gotta be sexy cooking. It's gotta be humming,
I have to be, in bed, wearing my fluffy socks or something and just kind of kicking back. And then, oh, what's that? I hear some onion sizzling for getting ready, throwing some ground beef for my tacos. And
I like it.
Tacos is my love language. So
tacos is my love language.
That's right. Those tacos.
All right, Knight. I know you got something that and it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be okay. We all gonna be here in the safe space with you. What kind of sound?
Weird. The kind of sound that turns me on is the sound of a woman moaning during sex. That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. Okay. That's
as simple as it gets.
That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, voices. There's a certain tone. So like, even if my man ain't got like the sexiest voice all day long, which is a thing for me. So most, when I have a man, like they get, you gotta have a sexy voice. But when they first wake up, you know how their register is just a little bit lower, and there's kind of like this raspy thing that happens. And that is like just keep talking. Wait, don't wake up all the way. Don't wake up. Just keep talking.
Audio. I want to change my answer to that because I had a customer come in and he was this cowboy looking guy. I live up north, so there's a lot of cowboys where I live. Right. And he come in with this deep, raspy voice in. And then I work at where there's hardwood, or not hardwood, but cement. So it's, hard floor with this cowboy boots on. So you got a little bit of cane in there too, as far as getting that clunk, clunk, clunk across the floor.
Yep.
That was pretty hot.
So for me, it's
this is confusing.
Wait. I got one more to add. I love me an Irish accent. Give me an Irish accent any day. Could come from a man, could come from a woman. Give me an Irish accent, and I'm just like,
here are my panties.
Have them. We can have it. What else do you want?
Please offer me Lucky Charms.
Give me Irish or Scottish any day. Yes.
So I have to say that kind of throws
or Antonio Banderas. Okay, just talk to me.
I got to say that throws my next point like way out of whack because like one of them was completely prepared. But statistically, this fetish or like the sensual nature of Auralism is more prevalent in women versus men because men are us, we're more visually stimulated. We have to see something. We can't just hear something. And if we do hear something, our first reaction is, what's that? Like we can't sit down and enjoy the ambiance for a minute or two. We gotta.
Knight looks like he disagrees. Hold up, Knight looks like he disagrees. Do you disagree with that?
No, I think actually it brings us back to sort of like our hunter-gatherer days when when noises trigger us and we had to be on alert.
Okay. And so you think that's why you're visual?
Well, we have to be scanning the horizon. We have to be looking for lions and tigers. Y'all are busy picking bears and things. We have to,
lions, tigers, and bears. Oh, why?
Right? A twig breaks in the background. We got it.
Oh,
y'all are humming songs. So, but this is why I'm confused. Because I hear a lot of sort of conflicting ideas when it comes to this this mindful sensuality, when it's visual or audio or a little both. So you guys were way more descriptive in your terms. It sounds like you guys have this issue more than men do. Is that the deal or what?
Issue? Why is it an issue?
That is what turns us on, and what turns you on releases endorphins, and that shit is good. It's not an issue. It's a feel-good measure.
Okay, we have to explain it tonight, because in Night's terms. So that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you see a pair of breasts? That's the same feeling we get sometimes when we hear a very deep, natured voice.
Audio. Night. You know how that warm, fun, tingly sensation you get from taking your baths? It is the same kind of thing. You know how you just gotta have a bathtub that's, and you gotta have your rubber duckies and bubbles. And it's just
nice. That's to shake off the shackles of stress and anxiety. You're making some connections. We're
getting there.
I see. This is why people do that. Okay, makes sense. Because it sounds to me like this is definitely something that's becoming more popular. 2 years ago, it wasn't a thing on YouTube. And now we have this increase in everybody listening to things, the ASMR, they're scratching on the mic or on the. So, is this?
What was that? Was that deep throating a mic or something? What was that?
How did that go again? Audio. How did that go again?
And they're playing with the mic and playing the flute.
Yo, so I got to throw something in with that. Just because because of what we were talking about, I decided to look into a couple of ASMR channels. Ooh. And I don't get the turn on. Like this piece of it, I don't get. Like, I guess a little bit, maybe, like if you're in that kind of a mood. But I mean, God, I don't even know where to begin with this. But if you ever check out ASMR channels, one of the biggest things that's popular is something that you would not fucking put up with anywhere the fuck else, which is lip smacking.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, and for me, that's the opposite. Like I can't listen to someone smack. I can't even listen to my dogs go. Just even me doing it, I'm like.
And it's like there's one chick on YouTube. She's quite popular. She's got she boasts the #1 OnlyFriends account in the world. Yeah. And she's got an ASMR YouTube channel. And the majority of it is her just like licking and sucking all over this thing. And you can hear every single little crevice and cavity that she is moisturizing with her mouth, which I mean, I guess mid-stroke might sound pretty erotic, but I mean I call it PNC, the post-nut clarity. Like that's going to get old real fucking quick. Like mute that shit fast. That's like mute.
For those of you wondering, what the hell are we talking about? What is ASMR? Because we just keep, referring to it to ASMR, right? It is autonomous sensory meridian response. But what is that still? It's like that deep, relaxing, tingly feeling that you get all the way up your neck, all the way out through your scalp here, and all the way back down your back.
What are you talking about?
Full sensation.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking? You've had that feeling. When you ate that cookie from that neighbor, you had that feeling.
When you ate the cookie from the neighbor.
Anyways, so it's mostly induced by sound, right? But it can also occur during something like a performance, like if you're doing
eating cookies?
a haircut, you eating cookie or someone, other skillful kind of tasks there.
Sounds
I gotta piggyback on that because throughout this whole thing, the only thing that's really registering in my mind is fucking Bob Ross. In that quiet ass studio, and you just have this really soft-spoken guy with an afro sitting there talking about painting happy little trees, and you can hear the brush strokes on the canvas, and we're just gonna put a little something there, and then you know what, I like that, so we're gonna put another one over here, and then we're gonna wash the brush, and when he'd mix paint, and you could hear the all right, oh look at that, that's a nice little burgundy. We're gonna take our off-white and our canary yellow, and I really like that. That's a nice tone. Yeah, we're going to use that and just put a little bit of something right here. And that person needs a friend. So we're going to put another
one. So he was the OG ASMR.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like, when it comes to like this generation, I feel like that kind of set the precedent for why ASMR is popular today is they grew up listening to Bob Ross, Paint, and everything, and that's why seeing somebody do something like that is like.
Well, and the thing is that so ASMR is very relaxing, right? But Auralism, it's actually more common than you think. As you can see, the crew already explained to us, what turned you on, what sounds do it for you. So I mean, you may not even realize that you're participating in something like this, or that is a turn on for you. And we've already kind of gotten what the crew's little turn ons are. But I'm going to ask my crew this: have you guys ever dealt with somebody that is turned on by Auralism, but maybe didn't realize it, or they did? But have you dealt with somebody that's like, oh, like Kane said, he likes the heels on the hardwood floor, the tile. And have you ever dealt with someone that's like, just walk for me in some heels before we start, or just speak to me in my ear, whisper, just talk to me a little bit more. I'm gonna kick this to Kane first. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, firsthand. I was that guy. Absolutely. Wear some heels and walk around for a little bit. That'll get it going.
But have you experienced somebody else like wanting that from you?
I've been, and I don't know, it's just kind of like a personal hang up with me is I don't think that I have an attractive voice. I don't think I sound as sexy as like what you like. I don't have an Irish accent. I don't speak with an accent. I mean, I can duplicate one, but it's more comical than it is arousing. But I have had requests sometimes where it's just like, oh, just talk for me. And that'll immediately shut me down. Because to me, it's like, oh, my voice is what's, I don't, I'll start to stammer. I'll start to stutter over myself just because, like I said, I don't feel like I have that I don't feel like my voice is that arousing. And so other people, it's not uncomfortable. It's just like when it gets put on the spot,
it's like in your head, right? Because you may sound like you sound now, but in your head, you're like, yeah, take off your panties. It's, I understand.
Well, it's like struggling what to say, struggling. Okay, so it's like if it's the voice thing, so I can start saying anything. So we start breaking out with that damn Dexter's Laboratory omelette au fromage, start doing something stupid like that. And then I get told to shut up, like, all right, never mind. Just
stop. Just stop.
I'm with you on that. They tell me the same. And then I say something and it comes out sounding creepy. Not my fault.
I believe that 100%.
You too, but I think it's because you overthink it. I think for both of you, if you're put on the spot, especially in a sexual situation where somebody's being aroused, both of you are going to go, okay. Is what we were talking about earlier. So then it comes out like that, and I can totally see with Knight him being like, yeah, I just want to rip him off and then shove him in my mouth. And
yeah, you're
just real freaking uncomfortable. And then the girl's like, oh, no.
It's like what you asked for. That's funny, right?
So as an upcoming feature, I have to bring her on. Because we talked about bringing, parents, the people who raise the doms you see today.
Yeah.
So my mother actually has a very entertaining story about where there was a guy who she thought had a sexy voice. And so she said, like, hey, well, just talk dirty to me. And so the guy did not know how to do that.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, okay. So whether he was on the spot or whatever, and I guarantee you, my mother will tell it 10 times more entertaining than I can. But his response was, all right, I want to touch your breasts and then move down to your vagina. And she was like, all right, okay, stop.
Okay, stop.
So, I mean, I don't think it's a problem, unique to just me. So,
okay, Knight. So I made a little bit of fun of you, but have you ever like experienced somebody wanting that from you or participating in that, and maybe they didn't even know they were participating in that, but like requested it from you, that kind of thing? Because I asked Kane.
I mean, I play games, but for some reason there's a frequency in my voice that some people find alluring. So I have been asked to talk in such a manner, and it gave them tingles or whatever. I don't know. I use it to my advantage when I can. I try not to make it creepy, but there were situations where they're like, just talk. I'm like, talk about what? Just talk. I'm like, okay. I went to the mall today and I looked at some Skechers. I almost tried them on, but men don't try on shoes. We know our size.
Damn.
Don't try
yes.
on shoes. No, our yeah, that would take. Yep, my panties would come right off for that. Yep, just no.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how Knight has to pepper in a little bit of sexism somewhere. Just
Hey, men don't try on shoes.
know our
There's men that try on shoes. Dude, my ex would sit for forever trying on some damn shoes. Okay, so I gotta ask Miss Callista. She's the other girl up on here. Have you ever had requests? Have you ever dealt with somebody that maybe even didn't know they were participating in it? And but they were just like, dang, what you're doing, this sound.
So, I've had the normal of, talk dirty to me.
Mhm.
I've also had this guy ask me, he goes, just moan in my ear.
Yeah.
Didn't want me to touch him, didn't want to do anything, just moan. And that's all I did. And then I also have a friend, though. She was telling me a wild story. All this guy wanted her to do was sit in a corner of a room and read a book.
Huh?
That's all it was reading a book. And he was sitting there getting off to it.
Yep.
What?
Yep. I've had that happen before. That's that story I have. I've had that, and I understand the thing with Kane because I've had somebody go just put on some heels and like walk across my floor, and I'm like, just put on, because I didn't even know it was a thing, and I didn't know the heel thing was a thing till this person, and they're just like, put on some heels and just walk, just
But you could get both of those things in school.
Okay, so some of these auditory stimulating are very damning. Okay, especially like when you work in a professional environment where women do wear heels all the time. Like I would say, like a courthouse, very difficult fetish or very difficult, arousal to have, when it happens constantly. And I wish I could say like the more you hear it, you kind of drown it out, or it's not as arousing the more you hear it. Nope, it's the first time and the 1,000th time it'll
really. So it never loses.
So if you heard
feeling.
If you heard Judge Judy come clicking down the hall, that would get you going?
If I was listening to it, yeah.
Hey, me too. If Judge Judy came anywhere near me, it'd get me going.
So if you had a chance with Judge Judy, would you want her to bring the gavel?
Absolutely. That sound, dunk, dunk. She can do that on my head.
You probably need it done on your head.
And I've had some client requests outside of like the heel walking and stuff, like smacking. Smacking is a huge set, like that set.
Oh, that's a good sound.
They want that, and that's all they want. And I remember asking one client, like, what do you imagine? Like, what's going on up here? Is there something? Is there visuals that are happening? And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. But I'm picturing like thighs slapping together and you're smacking your own ass, or I'm smacking your ass. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, just paying me? Okay, cool.
Yeah. The good old smack. We got that.
Yeah.
Something that just popped in my mind, and I have to ask, just because, Callista, I remember you from high school, and you were cool.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. It is a compliment, I promise. Have you guys ever messed with somebody? Because so there is auditory stimulation, and one of like the tall tale, just go to a mall and try this and watch 20,000 heads turn around and 3 people have come out of the ceiling. Is that porn star go-to moan?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever just done that out of the blue in the middle of class, or like during the lunch, or just around a group of friends, just to watch like a couple of dudes get uncomfortable, like, oh, that was hot, like, but
audio.
You can't do that here.
Audio. So my friends and I have this thing called the burping game. Okay.
Oh, fuck you.
Kate knows it because I don't tell anybody about it. I wait till everybody's in a room, and the people that know. All right. So you're drinking, people burp. And so someone burps, and then everyone's screaming, yellow, orange, oh, fuck it, what, peach. because the rules are you can't say the same color as someone else, and you can't be the last person to say the color. The last person that says the color, doesn't matter where the hell you are, you have to make a sex sound very loud for 30 seconds. And so this has happened in diners, in quiet restaurants, at a library. Yeah. And people do come out of their seats. It's kind of shocking at first, and then they're like, hey. Hey. But like, it doesn't have to be like it could be two gorillas fucking in the mist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be a sex sound you make. But
Oh, okay then.
What the?
So I could be like a wildebeest.
Well, what really gets interesting is when you're at a diner after the club's let out, and everybody's in the diner, right? And two people say the same color at the same time. Because now both of y'all are on the chopping block, and you got to make noise together. And Kane knows he's had to.
Remind me to never go drinking with you.
No, I'm telling you, because now you know the game. But how I would initiate you and how I initiated Kane was so someone burps and everyone's screaming colors, and he's going. And I was like, Kane, you have just been initiated to the burping game. So here are the rules. You cannot say the same color as somebody else. And if you are the last person to say a color, you must make a sex sound very loud for 30 seconds. Ready? Go.
Yeah, that part. That fucking part right there. You guys got lucky and got initiated into the game, or at least know about the game beforehand. Right. So if somebody burps, the next time we hang out and you hear somebody yell green, yellow, you'll spit one out really fast. It doesn't help when everybody does it and you don't know what the hell's going on. So you're like, and see, welcome to the game. You've been initiated. These are the rules. Now it's your turn. Go.
I've gotten so good at the game that I've picked very obscure colors. And one of the times, like, everybody's screaming obscure colors, teal, magenta, maroon. And I was like, mac and cheese. And they're like, that's not the fucking color. I was like, it's in the Crayola box. Look, mac and cheese. It's yellow. It's not me. So yeah. You get up on the burping game. If you got a drinking game you want to play. So tell Miss Aurora talk to you about it. All right. But I think that's all we have for tonight, right, Mr. Kane?
Yes, ma'am. That is it for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the May Kink of the Month, auditory stimulation, ASMR, and Auralism. So
I hope all our sounds got you turned on at some point tonight.
Yes, do me a favor, drop us a comment if somebody's voice really resonated with you. We're gonna play a little game with that. So when you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you comment, pink square, purple square, Callista, Kane, Aurora, the most votes gets a free pass. The least amount of votes, which will more than likely be Knight, is going to give us 30 seconds of the burping game for the final show of the month. All right, so you heard it here, folks. Go ahead and drop comments now so that way we can figure out who's making 30 seconds of sensual noises at the end of the month. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and probably call it. Callista's going to get a pass, and it's probably going to be tied with Aurora. So, because we get more dudes that watch than chicks, so.
Yeah. I'm all good. I'll make some sounds, but y'all ain't going to like
until now.
Get off to them.
All right, the funnier the better. But thank you guys so much for joining us this month. We got a lot more to look forward to. Be on the lookout for some choice interviews, especially dealing with auditory stimulation. So Make sure you guys are keeping up to date. Hit that bell so that way you get all the notifications on when SafeWord is going live, because we will be doing that here shortly. So make sure you got your notifications turned on. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and try audio stimulation. Moan randomly in the club and see how many people turn around, because I'm right. All right, we'll check you guys out later. Have a good one. Good night.
Bye.
The place for deviants. Free your kink.